All right, let's talk about what's happening in the skies tonight, because it is something truly special. A massive storm, all the way from the sun, is splashing incredible colors across the night in places that almost never get to see them.
Okay, so let's dive right in. The Northern Lights, the legendary aurora borealis, are putting on a show for the ages, and they're doing it way south of their usual Arctic home.
And this is the question that is just blowing up social media right now, right? You've probably seen the pictures. From city parks to backyard gardens, people are seeing something absolutely extraordinary. And we're going to break down exactly why it's happening tonight. And look, this isn't just a few isolated reports. We're talking about an official 18-state watch list in the U.S. Places like Illinois and Oregon are getting a light show. And it's stretching all the way across the ocean to Ireland and the U.K. I mean, these are places where seeing the aurora is usually just a dream.
So what's behind all this? Is it some kind of weird atmospheric trick? Nope. The cause of this incredible global spectacle is a massive blast of energy that has traveled 93 million miles from the sun just to get here. It's called a geomagnetic storm.
To really get how these beautiful lights work, we have to start our journey at the source, and that means we're heading to the turbulent, fiery surface of our very own star, the sun. You see, it all kicked off a few days ago with something called a coronal mass ejection, or a CME for short. The best way to picture it? Think of a giant solar volcano, just erupting this huge cloud of superhot gas and tangled magnetic fields straight out into space. And this was no gentle burp. This enormous cloud of solar stuff was blasted through space, aimed right at us, traveling at an unbelievable speed. We're talking an estimated 2 million miles per hour. Just try to wrap your head around that. But here's where it gets even crazier. Scientists think this might be a cannibal CME. How cool does that sound? It's where a new, faster eruption literally catches up to and swallows an older, slower one. And when they combine, they create one supercharged storm front. So when this supercharged cloud of particles finally gets to Earth, it just slams into our planet's protective magnetic shield. And that collision, that massive disturbance of our magnetic field, that's what we call a geomagnetic storm. Now, we actually rate these storms on what's called a G scale, from G1 up to G5. This one is predicted to be a strong G2 or G3, but there's even an outside chance it could hit a rare G4. That's a severe storm. And it's simple. The stronger the storm, the farther south the auroras can be seen.
Okay, so a cosmic collision is happening millions of miles away, but how in the world does that create such a beautiful dancing light show right above our heads? Let's get into the science of the colors. It's all about physics.
The process itself is actually wonderfully simple. It's like a three-step dance. First, those solar particles arrive. Second, they get funneled down by our magnetic field, and they start colliding with gas molecules high up in the atmosphere. And third, those collisions release their extra energy in the form of light.
And the specific colors we see? Well, that all depends on what kind of gas the solar particles bump into. That classic ghostly green that everyone knows, that comes from collisions with oxygen. But when the particles strike nitrogen, that's when you get those absolutely stunning blues and purples.
All right, now for the part I know you've been waiting for. How can you actually see this incredible phenomenon for yourself? Let's get into some practical tips for aurora gazing tonight.
First up, timing is everything. The best viewing window is usually centered right around midnight, so your best bet is to be outside and looking up between about 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your local time. That's usually when things are most active. Okay, so here are your pro tips. Number 1, you have to get away from city lights. The darker the better. Find a spot with a clear view of the northern horizon. Then, just turn off your phone and let your eyes adjust for at least 15 minutes. And be patient, the lights can flicker and fade. And of course, the obvious one, check your local forecast for clouds.
Okay, this is a really important heads up so you know what to expect. To your naked eye, the aurora might just look like faint, kind of gray moving clouds, but your camera is way more sensitive. So point your phone at the sky, take a long exposure shot, and you might be absolutely stunned by the vibrant colors it picks up.
And hey, remember this, you don't have to be directly underneath the main event to see it. A really strong display can be seen as a glow on the horizon from hundreds of miles away. So even if you think you're on the edge of the viewing area, it is absolutely worth getting out there and taking a look.
So why is all this happening right now? Well, it's because the sun is heading towards what's called solar maximum, the peak of its 11-year activity cycle. This means more solar flares, more CMEs, and yeah, more auroras are probably on the way. Which leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question. As our star really wakes up, what other cosmic wonders does it have in store for us?